Meanwhile, police in Nigeria have put all security forces on red alert. That's after protests on Thursday, which left at least 13 people dead. Thousands walked through the streets across the country to protest against poor governance in Nigeria, corruption and the increasing cost of living in what is Africa's most populous nation. The human rights group Amnesty International says 13 people were killed by the security forces as they tried to break up the protests. It has accused police officers of shooting indiscriminately at peaceful demonstrators. Well, Akin Bode Oluwafemi is Executive Director of Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa. That is a pan-African organisation helping local communities. He told me what is behind those protests in Nigeria.
At the heart of the protests currently in Nigeria is the economic hardship that Nigerians have been facing since this government came to power. And I must say that when this government came in May 29, there were lots of hopes. There were high hopes that given what the current president did in Lagos, he will be able to replicate that at the national level. But it appears that hope has been dashed. The economic recovery does not seem to be in sight. And there were economic policies that this government have embarked upon, like the removal of subsidies, floating the naira, which is Nigeria's currency, higher electricity bills that have eaten very deep into the pockets of Nigeria. And most importantly is the fact that, the basic cost of living, food prices have jumped so high, energy, transportation, and the rest of them. And when you look at the main theme of this protest, it is end hunger, end bad governance. Nigerians are saying you cannot be saying we should, brace up. The government is saying, things will ease up at some point. But government officials are, living in flamboyant lifestyles, buying SUVs and the rest of them. And they're saying, look, we've got to address the issue of governance, good governance, corruption in Nigeria, and then there must be development, prosperity, not only for a few, but all Nigerians. Nigerians are hungry, and when you're hungry, you're going to be angry. That's at the heart of this protest.
OK, so that's what's at the heart of it in your view. And then when you hear that news that at least 13 protesters have been shot dead, I mean, we don't know the exact numbers. It may be more than that, in fact. What is your reaction when you hear that those people have died?
Well, it's so sad that anytime there are peaceful protests in Nigeria, some people try to hijack it for whatever motive. There have been claims and counter-claims of who has done what. Some areas like Lagos, the protests have been peaceful, largely peaceful. But of course, there have been violence in quite about 8 northern states where 4 are declared 24 hours curfew. It's very sad. We have said that for us, it is the right of citizens to peacefully protest. It's part of democracy. It is the responsibility of government to protect Nigerian citizens. It's also the responsibility of government to ensure that criminals or hoodlums or whatever name they might want to call it, who might want to hijack this kind of situation, are reining in so that Nigerians are prevented from dying needless deaths. Again,
but I mean, you don't think the security forces have been trigger happy in shooting people dead?
Yeah, so there have been claims and counter-claims. We think that the security forces should not use maximum force. We don't think the kind of force that was displayed in Abuja was necessary. And we also think that government being very high-handed, restricting Nigerians to where they can protest and not protest, it's the kind of situation that brings this kind of violence. And so we have said that the Nigerian government needs to reorientate the police force to know that it is a democratic right of Nigerians to protest and protest peacefully.
That's Akin Bode Oluwafemi there, speaking about the latest situation and the protests in Nigeria.